am right now. I am at Flip. I'm at Flip Flop. Hold on one second. Waiting for this, darling. Oh, art of. Sorry, guys. Art. Oh, gracia. Hola. Oh, hold on one moment. This might be a little better. I hope it is. So, guys, how are you? Let me show you what's going on, where I'm at right now. So, I am at Flip Flop. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. I just got back from Margot Restaurante. They call it a California restaurant, but you know what? They have a lot. But it's nothing like coming here to get some wings on Wing Wednesday. I don't get paid here and I don't get anything free from, Flip Flop from Gregory. Gregory's right over there. I don't get anything free for saying this, but I really do want to say these are probably the best wings in the world. Like seriously. So always so huge, always so well cooked, never a problem. All right, the topic today is rent or buy in the Dominican Republic. Now, I have made this video before, and the reason why I wanted to do it again is because more and more people are now starting to come here to buy and also rent. And a lot of people are ready to buy, and they say to me, Cerise, what should I do? I don't know if I should buy. I don't know if I should rent. And you know what? It really depends. But it depends on a lot. So I'm going to get into the differences between why you should buy or why you should rent. Okay? Because it really depends on who you are, how many times you've been here. Now, and if you've never been here before. And I think that really does make a big difference. So let's just break it down, because today we're going to go through the pros and cons of renting and of buying here in the Dominican Republic. Now, I am a rent specialist here. I like to consider myself a rent specialist. I'm not a real estate agent. So let's just get that out of the way right away. People have called me a broker, and I guess that's the name I would go under here, because I don't contact real estate agents as it is right now. I might in the future, when I can find a real estate agent that doesn't charge that much for commission or doesn't charge that much for things. But I don't get my listings from real estate agents at all. It's always from the owner. Okay, so I'm a broker in that way, where I just keep it real and I try to find the least expensive deal for you. When you tell me what your budget is, if your budget is like $50,000 and you want to buy, I'm looking for something that's $30,000 for you, and then I'm going to work it out that way. I have a couple of messages coming in right here, and I just want to shout at you guys before I get into the video, because I have my glasses today. Hola. Hold on one second. Derek. Hola, Derek. Hola, Keith. And then we also have Stay Hungry. Stay Hungry. I got a text from you today on my cell phone. Hola, amor. Oh, no ahora. Someone selling avocados and bananas and eggplant and stuff like that. Here, I'm going to turn the camera around just for those of you who have never seen it before. There she goes. She's walking right now. See her? On her head. She's selling all kinds of stuff, bananas and onions and everything in that. Something called Diota, beautiful fruits, fresh and vegetables, everything. So make sure you guys always hit up those ladies in the street. But here when I'm at Flip Flop, I really try hard to respect Flip Flop in regards to not buying too much, because this is a restaurant, right? And if I buy one thing, then I'm buying another thing and another thing and another thing, and it just becomes disrespectful to Gregory and the establishment here. So stay hungry. Yes, you left me a message today and about something starting, and I just want to say, give me a WhatsApp next time because I would love to watch any messages that you have coming in. NFN Shaka, Peace King, how are you? You're going to be coming soon, right? Vero, hi. IBE, hello. And Terry Peters, hi from NYC. Hello, NYC, New York City, in La Casa. All right, guys, let's get right into the topic because thank you guys for your messages. And those of you who are just tuning in right now, my name is Cerise Fairfax. I live here in the Dominican Republic. And again, I'm not a real estate agent, but I am what you call a broker. I work with owners and I do sales and I do rentals. And I specialize in Cabarete and in Sosua. It is located in the province of Puerto Plata. There is also a city called Puerto Plata, and I have connections there. But that's more the city part, not really the beach part. And if you're interested in that area, I can try to hook you up there as well. All right, so buying and renting. A year ago, people were coming and they were like, should I buy or build? Buy something already built or buy land and build. Now that has even changed. And I'm going to get to that in a second. Well, actually, you know what? Let me just cover that right now and get it out of the way. So if you're going to buy and you are gung-ho on buying and you're like, you know what? No, I want to buy. I have the money set aside and I just want to know, should I buy something already built or should I buy land? A year ago, I would have told you it was cool to buy land and build because it would have been less expensive. Well, these days, things have changed because there is only really one reason, and that is because of the price of products that has gone up. Like that pretty much is really expensive. Now, if you don't mind that so much because you are a builder or you don't mind buying the supplies and everything like that at almost the same cost as North America, then that's wonderful. And you won't have to pay much for when it comes to workmen, construction workers, right? The reason why is because construction workers, you can still pay a construction worker $20 a day. Sometimes if you get a crew of people, you can pay them even like $15 a day. But a lot of you guys come down and you're like, no, you don't, not trying to, rip anyone off. So you do pay what the going price is for a construction worker each day. And that is $20 a man and a crew. So if you have 4 men a day working on your home or working on your building, you're paying each one $20, and that's $80 a day that you would be paying. It is possible to not have 4 people building your place and only having 2 people a day because obviously your place gets built in sections, right? First you have to put up the rebar, and then you have to get someone to do the concrete. Once the walls are built and everything, you have someone get in and put the ceramic down and do the plumbing and everything. So you obviously hire people in segments as you're putting your place together. So you might not need 4 people in one day. So that means that your labor in one day would be $40, right? A lot of you guys are cool with that. And especially if you buy a piece of land. Now, when I say it's just almost at par to buy or to build, I'm talking about Sosua only. If you buy a piece of land and you want to build right now, hola, hola, and you want to build, then it's probably best for you to do that in, like, I don't want to say the countryside because it's not going that far out, but you just, in Sosua, it's going to be expensive. Land is expensive in El Bate. That's EL space BATEY. That is where all of the tourists come in the North Coast. Or Cabarete. Cabarete is also an expensive place to buy land. And again, building is depending on the supplies and also on your workers. But the land is a lot more expensive in Sosua and a lot more expensive in Cabarete, okay? Just because a lot of foreigners come here. My suggestion is if you do want to build and you're gung-ho on buying and you're gung-ho on building, then go a little bit out of Cabarete or a little bit out of Puerto Plata. If you really want to go out somewhere, then go the Cabarete direction, okay? Because Sosua, El Bate, is in the middle of Puerto Plata City and in the middle of Cabarete. Takes about 15 minutes to get to Cabarete driving on a good cool day, 17 minutes, or about 15, 20 minutes away from Puerto Plata City. Puerto Plata is the province, okay? Sosua is the municipal. Cabarete is a town within Sosua, but we don't call it that. We break it up like this. Puerto Plata, we call it like the city area. Sosua is one beach town, and then Cabarete is another beach town. That's how we compartmentalize it here, okay? So if you're looking on the map, then you're going to see that just seems confusing. But when you come here, that's how we consider it. Puerto Plata, Sosua, Cabarete. Now, Puerto Plata, again, has like jumbo. It has like La Serena. It does have a little bit of a beach area. It's called the Malecon. And it's not really an attraction per se, but it probably will start being more of an attraction in the future because now cruise ships are going there. But it's going to be expensive to buy there. And if you want to buy land just outside of there, because we all know that when you buy land in the suburbs, just outside of the city, it gets cheaper, right? Location is always more expensive. Land is always more expensive when the location has a lot more tourists. So you have Puerto Plata City, right? We're just going to call that Puerto Plata for argument's sake. Now, if you go to the like outside of Puerto Plata, not coming towards Sosua, but outside going towards the other way, going to Costambar and stuff of that nature, then you're going to be able to buy something less expensive, but not a lot of people go there. And that means that if you're doing it for passive income purposes in order to build like a Airbnb, then you may not get as many people renting from you there. Or if you do, it's only because they really don't know where they're coming to. And on the map, it might seem like they are going to be closer to Sosua. But once they get here and they're outside of the Puerto Plata city limits, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so far away from Sosua, because everyone wants to be in Sosua, right? Most people anyway, for the beach area and also all the tourists and, like the interaction amongst other people, especially if someone doesn't speak Spanish, they want to be around English speakers. So if you get something outside of Puerto Plata going on the other side of Sosua, then chances are you're not going to be able to keep those apartments fuller for long-term tenants. Okay, they're going to eventually leave and make their way towards Sosua. Maybe they'll go into Puerto Plata city limit, some city itself, but once they're there as well, they may feel like it's too city and they have to take a vehicle everywhere. They can't walk everywhere they want to go, and then eventually they end up here in Sosua, El Bate, or where I live, Los Charamicos now, because I've been bringing a lot of people to Los Charamicos, or to Cabarete. Now, let's get to Sosua. Sosua, everything is expensive in regards to buying land, period. So if you're going to buy something here, my suggestion is to buy something that's already built, especially if you're going to use it as a passive income, and especially if you're not going to be living here. I would say, first of all, start off with a condominium. A lot of you guys are like, I want to buy a villa. And I'm like, well, that's great, but it's very difficult to rent out villas. Number one, because they're very expensive. Number two, because not everyone's coming in a group all the time. Most people come single or they come in twos and they're looking for apartments, 1 bedroom, they're looking for studios, and they're looking for 2 bedrooms. So if you really want to buy something in Sosua, El Bate, the tourist area, then it's probably best for you to buy something that's a little smaller. Go small. I know the old saying is go big or go home, but that's not always so, because you might not be able to rent it out. And if you do rent it out, you might have to rent it out for less than what you would want to rent it out. Not only that, the electricity is a lot more expensive in bigger places. So if you're just starting out and you have money for startup and you want to buy cash, then just get something that you can get that's going to rent out itself, and it will pay for itself right away. Hold on one second. I'm going to digress. I apologize, but I want to give this guy promotion. Hola. I want to give this guy promotion. He's coming by right now. I'm going to keep talking. I'm just going to turn the camera around. When he passes, I'm going to show you. He sells corn. I know this is not about promotion, but he sells corn in the street, and the corn is delicious. And you just tell him that Rubia sent you. Here he comes right now with his wheelbarrow. Here he comes. There he goes. He has wonderful corn in that wheelbarrow. A lot of you guys don't know what people are pushing in the wheelbarrows, but that guy going up the hill right now, he says, maize, maize, maize. Maize is corn in Spanish. Maize. And you'll hear him say, maize, maize. So I would suggest that you should buy some of that. Okay, I digress. I apologize. So I'm drinking white wine, guys, because I went to the dentist, and the dentist told me to stop drinking coffee and stop drinking red wine. I will give you the link if you want to the dentist. It costs 500 pesos to clean my teeth, and that's $10. Hola, Raymond. Sí, ¿todo bien? Yo necesito servicios para English, Spanish. Okay, I'll see you. No, para mi clientes. Sorry, guys, he teaches Spanish. I'll talk to you. Okay, when I'm in Los Charamicos. He lives in Los Charamicos. And he teaches Spanish. Okay, let's carry on. So if you're going to buy here, we're going to get to renting in a second, and we're going to talk about what the benefits of renting is and what the benefits of buying is. But let's just continue on to the topic that I was on. Get something that you can buy, that you can rent out. If you're looking for a passive income and you're looking to buy in Sosua, buy a condo or an apartment or a house that is already built. If you don't want to go through the hassles of building, when you are building, you have to also take into consideration the construction supplies that go up and down, and they're very unpredictable. You also have to take into consideration that some of your men may get hurt or tired, or life gets in the way. And also, one of the main things is the Joe. Sorry, I had to cover the microphone because one of the guys were walking by with music, and I didn't want the video to get flagged. I want YouTube to push it because I want all you guys to see this video. So yes, you can buy something, buy a condominium. Okay, when I say condominium, it could be like just considered an apartment here, and at the front it could have security. At the front it could just have a gate when you go in. A lot of people come here and they rent them, and you can rent it on Airbnb, and you can make some good money every day. You can rent it anywhere from 35 to 65 bucks a day, maybe even 80 if you really fix it up nicely and do like yourself justice by being, an Airbnb super host type of thing, because you get the beautiful furniture in there and stuff like that. You can get something here anywhere. Sometimes you can get a nice studio apartment for 45,000 American dollars. Sometimes they're going for 80,000 for 2 bedrooms. They're really not that expensive. Some of you guys are contacting me and you're telling me that you have 150,000 and you want to buy a house, but you have to really consider what you're going to do with that house, because here in Sosua, more people, like couples, are coming here, and when families come here, when families are moving here, they usually are buying. They're not looking to rent a house. And when they are renting a house, they're not trying to rent for a year, 2 years, 3 years, like how it would be in North America. They're only looking to rent for a couple of months until they get grounded, they get their feet in the sand, so to speak, and they're buying on their own because they will find something, and that's what they're looking for. So my suggestion here, again, in Albate, I can't stress this enough, if you are gung-ho on buying, then really look more as a passive income, right, to rent out, then look for something that is like an apartment building, which we call condos most times, and studios rent out just as quickly as 2 bedrooms. I have more people looking for studios than 2 bedrooms. When people are looking for 2 bedrooms, it's usually like a couple of guys coming together, and they're usually here for like, no longer than a month. Most times 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because they're two guys on vacation together. But most times, and this is just my gem of information that I can give you right now from my heart, most times people are coming here and they are happy with a studio apartment. A studio apartment in Canada we call a bachelor apartment, and they're large here, and you get your kitchenette, you get your bathroom. It's just like an open concept, right? It's like a loft type of thing, but it's not loft style. It's just open concept, 1 bedroom. They are usually pretty nice size, unless you're getting it in a hotel, usually you may not get a kitchenette. But if you're getting it in an apartment building, then yes, you're going to have a kitchenette. And you are going to have like everything. And most times when you do buy something here, it's furnished. So you don't have to do anything. Now, some people, super hosts, like that's what they call them on Airbnb, they will go and they will upgrade the furniture. Now, it makes a huge amount of difference if you are buying something here and you have photos of something that's outdated. And that's okay. You'll still be able to rent it out. Don't worry about it. You can not even ever come here at all. You can buy it online, and I'll go look at it for you, and I'll go check it out for you. I'll go video it. I'll check out the plumbing. I'll check out the area itself, and especially if it's an Cabarete, I'll be able to give you so much information on it right away and tell you if it's worth your buck. And of course, I do that as a little extra service fee, but it's worth it, because if you're looking to buy something, I'll go talk to the owner or the management company or anything of that nature, and I'll take my own video of it. So I would say that if you are looking for a passive income and you are looking to buy something in the Dominican Republic, and if more specifically you're looking for something in Sosua, definitely buy something that is already made, and try to buy something that's in an apartment building that it's already getting rented out. For instance, most of these apartments here, when you buy it, you have to buy with the agreement that there's already clients in there for like another month or so. You get what I'm saying? So aside from that, you guys, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're enjoying this video, by the way. Now, aside from that, again, don't be afraid to buy a studio. Don't be afraid, because those are very popular right now. The reason why those are very popular is because people are coming here to save money, and especially if they're coming here solo, they don't mind having a smaller space. They don't mind. The reason why is because they know that they're going to save money, and they know that they can, still cook, still use the washroom, and they can just walk to the beach here in Cabarete, Sosua, especially also in Los Charamicos. So don't be afraid to look for something that's smaller. Don't think that just because the houses are less expensive here, you should go big. Not at all. And a lot of you guys are like, I want to buy a villa. And I'm like, well, who are you going to rent that villa to? Not everyone's coming here to rent a villa. And again, when families come here to rent something, they're going to rent a villa, but eventually they're going to build their own. So it may be difficult for you to get long-term tenants in a villa, whereas you can get long-term tenants easily in a bachelor apartment, because people don't mind living in a smaller space as long as they are paying less rent. Again, a lot of people are coming here, they're retired, they're living on a pension, or they're working online, and their main goal for coming here is to declutter, right? They don't need a big spot, a big space, and also to save money and pay less. Or not even save money, just pay less. So now let's take it over to Cabarete. Same thing. Same rules apply as Sosua. Expensive to build. But here's the difference. Remember I said to you, Puerto Plata, people will like rent from you in Puerto Plata outskirts, like this outside of the city limits, not coming towards Sosua, but the other way. They'll rent from you, but once they realize that the place is so far away, they're not trying to stay there. Now let's go into the other direction. Cabarete. Just outside of Cabarete is Sabaneta. Write this down. It's really important. This is important information for those of you who are serious about buying. I'm going to get into renting in a minute and why you should rent before buying, who should rent before buying, and who should buy before renting. Okay, in a minute. Cabarete. Outside of Cabarete, because Cabarete is a beach town. And it's beautiful, just like Sosua. A little bit of a different vibe. Cabarete is just one road. Okay, Sosua has many roads. Sosua is a little city in and of itself, but it's a beach town. Cabarete is a beach town too, but there's really only one main road. Sosua has two main roads, right? Well, three really. Highway 5, Pedro Clasante, and Alio Martinez. And a whole bunch of other little streets in between that you can go through. And a whole bunch of other places for foreigners to just go have fun and rent out anywhere you want. But Cabarete is one main street going through Cabarete, and then you can go into different barrios, different areas. Like you can go into Callejon de la Loma, which is really the barrio. It's kind of like saying Los Charamicos, right? Here in Sosua. But it is its own little barrio, its own little community, and it's mostly natives, Dominicans and Haitians. Then there's another area, and that's called ProCab. And ProCab is more foreigners. Like, for instance, you can't even do motor conchos down there. Like, there's no motor concho corners there. There's no Colmado there, convenience store. You have to leave there in order to go to the convenience store. There is one restaurant there, and it's a delicious restaurant. One restaurant right now off the top of my head. I lived there myself one time, and it wasn't one of my favorite places. I found that it was just for people who have a vehicle and a lot of foreigners, and they have beautiful apartments there, beautiful condos, beautiful houses to rent. But it's more for people who love to be segregated from the rest of everyone else, right? And then you all go into the main street where the beach is to go communicate with each other. And that's beautiful. It's just a different vibe than Sosua. But outside of there, just minutes out of there, is Sabaneta, is Laban, there's Veragua, and those are places where you can buy land and you can build. And it's not going to be too far for people that are in love with Sosua and Cabarete, because they can just make it to Cabarete in 10 minutes. And then after that, make it here. They are going to get the best of both worlds. But again, if you buy land outside of Puerto Plata going on the other side, it's going to be different because people have to go all the way through the city of Puerto Plata. Then they have to leave. Then they have to travel 20 more minutes to get here to about 17 minutes, I guess, 20 minutes to get here to Sosua. And then another 15, 20 minutes to get to Cabarete. And it's just too much for them, especially if they don't have a vehicle. But if you buy just outside of Cabarete, they can get on a bus and bam, they're in Cabarete. And then a few more minutes, bam, they're in Sosua. And they have the best of both worlds. So my opinion, my personal suggestion to you guys and recommendation is, if you're going to buy land and you're going to build, buy from the locals and buy in Sabaneta, buy in Islaban, buy in Veragua. Okay, those places. You can contact me privately if you want a list of those places. I know the spelling and everything is always different, and you might not know how to spell it. So just contact me privately on my WhatsApp, and all my information will be below. I'll put it down below in the description later on when I get home. But that is my recommendation to you if you are gung-ho on buying and you are gung-ho on either building outside of Sosua, outside of Cabarete. You can still build in Cabarete, but the land that you're and you can still build in Sosua, but the land that you're going to buy is a little expensive. That's all. But it's still going to be a lot cheaper than building in Canada or America. Okay, I can say that much. But it's not going to be as cheap or inexpensive as you would want it to be. And a lot of people, they're like, Cerise, I have $50,000. I want to buy a piece of land and build. And that's not possible. Like, so if you have 50,000 and you think you're going to build and buy land, that is not possible. Probably not even in Sabaneta. Okay. Now you can buy a piece of land, and it depends also on what you're building. Like if you're building a 6 apartments in a building, which I always say, if you're looking for a passive income and you're looking to build, don't build a house. That's another thing about building. Don't build a house if you're looking to build here, because it's going to cost you probably the same amount of money to build a 4 apartment building, 4 apartments in a building, as it would to build 4 bedrooms in a house. Don't build a house. Not many people are going to want to rent a house here when they can build on their own, right? Build an apartment building if you're going to build anything at all. Now, if you are coming on your own and you just want to live with your family and build a house, then okay, that's understandable, and you're just going to live in that, then you're not looking for a passive income, then definitely do that. And if you buy land and you build a house, then you can also build some, little apartments on the side of your property, and you can build 2 apartments there and rent those out as a passive income just for fun, right? But if you're looking to make money and you're looking to build and you want to make like a passive income on Airbnb, keep it small. Keep it small. Get yourself some apartments and forget this villa stuff. I'm doing a video on villas on Friday on Casa Linda, and I'll be getting into it more on Friday about villas. They're not my favorite things, and they're overrated. And a lot of people are like, I want a villa in a gated community. I want to rent one. And those get expensive. You still have to pay maintenance fees and everything. And you still have to, and you also have to pay high prices in electricity and everything. I'm going to get to that on Friday. This video is not about that. This video is about buying, renting. So those are my ideas and my suggestions on buying here in Sosua versus outside of Sosua, outside of Puerto Plata, outside of Cabarete. Okay, you can still get land and you can still build inexpensively. The thing that you're really going to spend money on are the construction supplies, and that's it. And also the land, depending on where you're buying. Now, if you got it like that and you have a great budget and you want to buy in Sosua and you want to build in Sosua, you can definitely do that. There are places for sale in Sosua. And not only that, what you will spend more money on is the land. And again, the unpredictability of the prices going up and down. My best suggestion in Sosua, if you want something, start small, get yourself a couple of condos, get yourself, like, if you have like 150,000 and you want to buy a house, I mean, you can do that. I'm not discouraging you, but my best suggestion to you is to buy 3 condos, rent those out at especially if they're beautiful. You can rent out 1-bedroom condos here in Sosua, especially if there's like a gated building and there's security out front and stuff like that, or if it's like one building, you can rent those out at least $700-800 a month right now, because rent is going up. And that's where I'm going to go to right now with rent. I think I've covered everything when it comes to buying, right? Buying land or buying condos, where you should buy the land, where you should buy the condos, and why. I think I covered that. If not, I'll read the comments in a minute. But when it comes to renting, who should rent and who should buy? Well, if you've never been here before and you just know that the prices are lower and you've never lived here, I would suggest for you to at least come here and visit the place first. Learn what area is best. I know some people are buying out in Santiago, some people are buying out in Santo Domingo, and they think they're going to rent these places out right away, and that is not always so. A lot of people are not interested in Santiago. Unfortunately, Santiago is a beautiful place, and they have wonderful cheap, not cheap, but inexpensive apartments. for rent, condos for rent, and they look gorgeous, but you don't know where they are off the beaten track or wherever. They could be being built in some area where you need to walk miles to get to the guagua, the local bus, or people are not necessarily going to rent. And you, if you're buying it, you may not necessarily even want to live there. Yes, it may be cheap. It may be inexpensively priced, and you may feel good because it's big and it's brand newly built and it's so beautiful, and it's tempting. But remember, be careful of temptation, because it may not be in a location in Santiago that you will want to be in, especially if you don't speak very good Spanish, and especially if you're not going to be there all the time. It just doesn't make sense. So be very careful about, where you are buying in that regard. Santiago is more of the city. And even the people that live in Santiago, the Dominicans, they have to come here and they travel 2 hours to come to the beach. It's all concrete jungle, just like Toronto. There's no beach there. In the countryside, there's rivers, but a lot of people don't go to the rivers. And so I would say that if you're looking to buy something and you're not going to be here, buy in Sosua. Again, rent. Let's just get back to rent. So if you're looking to rent and you love Santiago, then come rent in Santiago. Come rent in Santo Domingo. Rent anywhere on the island, because you're cool to do that. And not only that, not every time do you have to sign a 1-year lease. You can just tell the landlord you're here for 1 month and you can travel the island. So if you are not a person that's ever lived here and you're wondering if you should buy, I would say come here and travel the island. And once you travel the island, you will know where your heart is. Those of you who know me and have been watching my videos for the whole time I've been here, you will know that I moved 10 times in 3 years, in 2.5 years. 10 times. I didn't want to move that many times, but I had to. Some places had no hot water. Some places had no water. Some places I was like with no water for 9 days. And I don't know how I did it looking back on it now, because the place that I'm in now, it is here in Sosua, but it's just on the other side of the beach of El Bate, and it's in a native community, Dominican Haitian community, and I have hot water, and it's a beautiful condo. I'm overlooking the bay, Sosua Bay, so I'm like a 3-minute walk to the beach. But as soon as I leave my door, I'm like in the native area. I speak Spanish now, so I'm cool with that, and everyone knows me. I found my spot, and I have not moved in like 1.5 years, and I'm so happy now. Just so happy. 1.5 years, yeah, that's right. So for my first 1.5 years, for my first 2 years here, because I've been here for almost 4. I moved and I moved and I moved, and it was amazing. And some people were like, why are you moving so much? Why don't you just stay still? And I'm like, because I can move that much. And so can you. Don't sign any leases. Some people will try to lock you into a lease. No, tell them, say, I'm going to be here for 3 months. If you're going to be here for 3 months, and tell them, I'm going to be here for a month. If you're only going to be here for like 6 months, tell them I'm going to be here for a month, but I would like to have the freedom to extend it for another month if I would like. Like sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes when you say it's a month, it's a month. Like me, my places are very busy. I don't own them, but the places that I rent out for the Dominican landlords, if you tell me it's a month, I already have someone lined up in that place a month from after that. So you do have to be very precise when it comes to me, because I have a lot of clientele. But sometimes if you rent a place out here in the Dominican Republic and, it's not a very busy place and it's not in like a tourist area, you can say to the landlord, hey, I want to stay for a month with the option to extend it to 2 months. Is that possible? And they'll say yes. And then once you're here for a couple of weeks and they see that you should know if you want that place longer, they will ask you, so what's it going to be? They won't ask you at the end of the month because they want to make sure that they rent the place out by the time you're leaving. And they'll ask you 2 weeks in, and they're not trying to pester you or bother you or try to get your money. They're trying to hold their business down. So don't get like annoyed by that. But they will definitely say to you, so have you made up your mind? Right, 2 weeks in, and you may say, well, how am I supposed to know if I want to be here for 2 months if I've only been here for 2 weeks? Well, you need to know because you only have 2 more weeks left until your month is over. You get what I'm saying? So don't feel pressured, but definitely your first 2 weeks in, walk around the area, see if you like the area, see if you can vibe with the people, because the people may be a whole lot different in this area than they might be like up the street from here. Each neighborhood is different. Each street is different. Seriously. So when it comes to you wanting to buy, I would say rent first, especially if you've never been here before. If you have been here before and you've already done your research all the way from Boca Chica, Santo Domingo, like Santiago, and here in Cabarete, and you've gone all around the island, Las Serenas, Samana, everywhere, then you already know where you want to buy because you already know where your heart is. And I would say go for it. Definitely go for it. If you can find a piece of something, whether it's a land or whether it's a condo or whatever, you know what you want and you know what you're getting yourself into. And it would be a good time to do that because you know already what you like best. But if you haven't really been around the island too much, it's not time for you to buy. Like, I haven't been around the whole island, and that's why I haven't bought yet. I haven't bought yet because I moved so much, and I know that Los Charamicos is my favorite spot, but when I buy, I want to buy something out of the city skirts, like the right out of Sosua. I love Sosua, and I'm not ready to leave Sosua. But when I buy, it's going to be a big enough piece of land where I could like create like a sustainable house. I'm into like living off the grid type of thing, but with the internet and hot water and the internet. I can say that twice. But I want to make like a cob home, like a homemade home, not your regular square or rectangle home. I want to make mine like a cob home. You guys can look up COB. I think it's COB or COBB, and it's made with like hay, sand, water, and clay, I think. And you make it with your hands. That's what I want to do, right? And I want to shape it in a way that is more to my liking. And also, or I want a yurt, or like a tiny home made from like, a shipping container, something like that. So I'm looking for something different. And I don't know, that's why I want to build. That's why I want to build. But I'm not going to build the average place. I'm going to build with very, very inexpensive supplies, like from the ground. Like an eco home. I want some tires and stuff like that. I'm just that natural bohemian type of chick. So I'm going to be building differently. I'm not looking to build how the average person would build. Therefore, I would need to buy my land. And I want to be near a river. And I also want to be, a short drive to the beach. So I'm thinking Gaspar Hernandez for me, which is like 30 minutes away from Sosua. Gaspar Hernandez is a wonderful beach town as well, but there's a lot of natives there. There's a lot of cacao trees, like chocolate trees, like natural chocolate. And I love that. I want to be able to have my mango trees. I want to be able to have my avocado trees, my banana trees, my apple trees, my orange trees. There's golden apple trees here. I want to have my lime trees. I want to have every single tree possible. So that means I want a lot of land, and I want to buy something that's already matured. I don't want to like plant something and wait 10 years for it to grow. So out in Gaspar Hernandez, it's possible to buy that. And I also want to be able to like grow vegetables from the ground, tomatoes and carrots and potatoes and stuff of that nature. So I'm going all natural when I buy, and that's why I've been holding off, because I'm single and I'm not ready to go live that life alone. I'm going to wait. I'm waiting on, relationship, so to speak. Actually, I'm not waiting on a relationship, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting a little bit longer too, until I'm tired of Sosua. I'm still not tired of Sosua. It's very difficult for me to get tired of Sosua because everything is so convenient, which brings me back to the difference between here and Puerto Plata, the city. Because remember, Puerto Plata is the province, and Sosua is located in Puerto Plata, and so is Cabarete located in Puerto Plata. But we talk about them as different entities. So Puerto Plata City, you need a vehicle to get around. Sosua, I can walk everywhere. I just came back from Margot restaurant and I walked over here to Flip Flop. And, wherever I go in this town, everyone knows me. I can walk across the street to another Italian restaurant and everyone knows me, and this is my home. I can walk up the street. I can go to all those bars up the street, and it's just my home, right? And I can walk everywhere. And it reminds me of downtown Toronto, not the look and not the beach necessarily, but the vibe of everyone knowing me and all the stores, all the shops, all the restaurants. And I can't imagine myself leaving this area anytime soon. So that's another thing that I'm waiting on as well. So if you're looking for something and you are not sure what you want yet, then I would suggest to come here to Sosua first, especially if it's going to be a passive income for you and you're thinking, okay, you want to buy, well, things are still reasonably priced to buy. Before the world went crazy 2 years ago, it was more of a buyer's market. Okay, you could buy really cheaply here. And it was not a seller's market. If you bought, you were just locked in for a while. You weren't going to get a huge return on your investment. Now it's becoming a seller's market, which means prices are going up. And I know a lot of people that are selling because they bought really low at like 30,000 a couple of years ago. And now they can sell at like 50, 60,000 in the last 2 years because of how the world went. A lot of people are like, oh, Cerise, I'm going to wait until after lockdown and quarantine, because then what? They thought that they were going to buy cheaper. I'm not laughing at them. I'm just saying, because I told them this. It's not going to be cheaper, right? We locked down here for 3 months and there was no tourism, and they sustained themselves here. We all did. We sustained ourselves here. And the one thing we did realize is tourism is a desire, but it's not a necessity, especially around everywhere. I mean, not the whole island depends on tourism. Only the tourist areas depend on tourism. And so, yeah, that's why all of a sudden people were like, oh man, I can sell this for a lot more. And that's what's happening right now. Prices have almost doubled on rent and also on selling. Now, again, if you buy, let's get back to buying and some of the benefits to buying. If you buy, you can actually get your residency a lot easier, okay? Because you have invested into the country and you can get your residency a lot easier. Your residency, of course, is your residencia. It's your citizenship here, so to speak. You can get that a lot easier if you buy. So there's a benefit right there. If you're a person that has been here, you know where you want to buy. It doesn't matter where you buy on the island, you can still get your residency a lot easier. Now, I think it depends on how much you're spending. You can't just spend 10,000, right? You have to spend, I think, over 45,000. Not quite sure. You guys would have to check that out with a consultation with me and somebody that specializes in that. But I can get all that information for you. But you definitely will be able to get your residency a lot easier. And that is a benefit in buying here. If you are a person that wants to move here and you know that you want to get residency. Another benefit in buying here now anyway, is being able to have a passive income, and you can rent it out if you don't live here, and you can rent it out quite easily as an Airbnb, especially here in Sosua. You can rent it out. You shouldn't have a difficult time at all, especially if you make it look pretty. You go and you get yourself some furniture. You can get furniture made here. You can design your own furniture. You can go and you can rent to own furniture at a location. If you have any questions, I can send you the manager of a furniture company here, and you can rent to own there. Not only furniture there, but at that place you can also rent motorbikes and pasolas. Pasola is like a scooter, and everything. They have everything from patio furniture to beds to dressers to everything you need. No kitchen sinks, but you can get kitchen sinks at other places. So in any case, you can definitely pay, like financing, we call it in Canada. You pay month by month. And you can do that, and you can fix your place up like nobody's business. It's so beautiful here. The furniture here, so beautiful. You can even put up some LCD lights, I think it's called, or whatever. Beautiful purple and red lights. You can make it look so gorgeous. There's so many beautiful homes here, and I really love how modern the Dominican Republic is when they really do their places up. Some people are like, oh, but it's a third world country. It's not third world any longer. It is a developing country, and they have everything here. We have everything here that you would need. All your hair products, all your food products mostly. People, when they contact me, they're like, Cerise, what can I bring for you? And I love the question, but I'm always like, just bring yourself. If you want to bring me a bag of popcorn, white cheese popcorn, bring me some popcorn, right? But aside from that, there's really nothing. One woman said to me, I'm going to go to Sephora, the makeup store, and I don't wear a lot of makeup, but it was a really nice thought of hers. And she's like, I'm going to go to Sephora and I'm going to get you some makeup. And I'm like, well, no, that's okay, because there's a makeup store here. And, there's just everything here. So if you're looking to invest here and you want to buy, again, one of the benefits is the fact that you can get residency and then also passive income. Renting. Now, if you can make a passive income from renting without buying, if you are into Airbnb, you can get an apartment here and rent it out, sublease it. The old concept, right? Before Airbnb even existed. You can sublease an apartment here. You have to ask the landlord before you do that. You don't want to go out renting somebody else's property without them knowing. So ask them and just say to them, hey, look, I want to rent your place for a year. And, you can put it on Airbnb with their permission. Now, why would landlords say yes to you? Because not all landlords here are on Airbnb, especially if they're old school Dominican and they just have their own little place here somewhere, and they really don't want to deal with, bringing in one tenant, the tenant stays for a month, and then they have to look for another tenant and all this stuff. Hi, how are you? Good. And, so you can sublease, and it's a win-win situation. Win-win-win. Win for the person coming here, win for you, and also a win for the landlord. I'm going to give you an example. I have somebody that lives in my building. Actually, I have to go see him. Sorry, he's coming in at 4:30 today. So he rented an apartment in my building. And he's an American, and he rented upstairs in my building, and he had it for a couple of months, and he rented it just before my landlord of the building, the owner of the building, was doing construction. So it was kind of difficult for him to rent it out, but he was still holding on to it. And then recently, a woman that I met, a Canadian woman, she rented it out, subleased it from him, because I knew it was empty, and she was having some issues with her with her ex or whatever. And I'm going to digress again, guys. I apologize, but I really want you to give this woman some business when she's on the beach. She's my neighbor. She lives in Los Charamicos. Let me see if I can find 100 pesos here. So her name's Mama or Viola. Mama! Mama, aquí. Arriba. Hola. I'm going to put her on, but I'm going to continue. Don't worry. I'm only going to be a minute. I'm going to digress. I want you guys to see who she is. She sells empanadas, and I love her. She is my girl. Cuatro, por favor. Ven aquí. Yo quiero tu cara en mi video. See, two. Here she is. There's Mama. She makes empanadas. She lives in Los Charamicos. She has a very successful family. I love her. She lives right across from me. So, see. Oh, she's eating ice cream. Comer helado. Cuatro, por favor. And I'm going to show you guys. These are the best empanadas. I buy 4 at a time. They're small, skinny ones. She makes them fresh each day. She goes to the butcher shop and she buys the chicken. And the chicken was just killed that day too. I know I'm supposed to this is just so horrible that I'm saying this, but it's the truth, right? For those of you who are vegetarians, I apologize. Or animal rights people, I apologize. But she goes to the butcher each day and she cooks them each day. None of them are ever refrigerated or frozen. And so I buy 4, but they're so crispy and they're so delicious. And then I take them home. And if I don't eat 4 in one day and I only eat 1 or only eat 2, then I save the other ones till the next day, slice it up because it comes like a sausage type of style. Slice it up and then I fry them like little coins the next morning, and they're delicious and crunchy. All right, I digress and I apologize. So yes, and I forgot what I was talking about. I apologize about that too. Gracias, amor. Let me show you guys the way they look before I move back on again. This is how they look. Okay, I said I wasn't going to buy. Okay, and here's how they crunch. Nice crunch. I said I don't like to buy here while I'm at Flip Flop because I don't like to disrespect Gregory or the establishment here. But this is my girl. And I can't let her pass by me without bigging her up and giving her promotion. Like I said, Sosua is my home. Gracias, amor. Bye-bye, sweetheart. So, hail her up. Her name's Viola, or Mama. You can call her Mama. Everyone calls her Mama. She walks along the beach, and you'll see her walking with her plastic bucket. Okay? So, rent. I forgot what I was saying, but I'm just going to go to another point, and then I will remember. Rent has gone up here as well in Sosua. I have people contacting me all the time for those $300 apartments that I had during the everything when it closed down. Hola. And I have no more $300 apartments. The least expensive that I have right now is, I remembered I was talking about. The least expensive that I have right now is $450. But let me go back to what I was talking about. Chris. So Chris subleased an apartment. Like, he rented it out from my landlord. And then about a month ago, I had a woman that was interested, and she was having some issues with her Dominican boyfriend. I don't want to talk her business too much, but I told her she can come to my building. I wanted to help her out. And I contacted Chris. Chris was in the United States. And I said to him, I have someone for your apartment. And he's like, all right. Now, he asked my landlord if it's okay for him to rent it out. Chris had it on Airbnb, and he tried to rent it out a few times, but because he's back and forth all the time, he wasn't able to do justice to the Airbnb thing, because he would have had to rent a management company to do all that checking in and checking out for him. So it's better for him to rent it out monthly. So let's say he got it from my landlord for like 350 or like, I don't know, 450. He rents it out for 550, right? Really 600 it was supposed to be, and he was renting it out much more expensive than that, but I got it down to 550. And when the woman was moving in, it was when the woman was moving in, he wasn't here. He's arriving today. So when he was arriving today, like she moved in on January 1st, he had the keys. The keys were not here, and our landlord didn't have a copy of the key. So I had to go to our landlord and I was like, hey, we need to get into that apartment and we need to change the locks on the door. And then I got my landlord, not my landlord, my motor consul to go to the, go to the construction store. It's called Papatera or Peteriera or something like that, right? It's like a Home Depot. And he went and he bought a brand new set of doorknobs, and then we got someone to put it on. But even before that, we went through so much trouble just for this woman to move in there, who ended up being rude to me, and I gotta forgive her. Eventually, I just don't respect when someone just doesn't know how to treat people properly. They forget the kind things that people do for them. So I'm still on that, but I still need to forget and forgive. But I will eventually. It's just when it's in your own building, it's difficult to forgive. In any case, long story short, I digress again. We did so much for her to get into that apartment, and we did so much for Chris to be able to get her into that apartment, and it's so easy to do that here. Well, it's not so easy, but it's not as hard as you would think, or as there's no red tape. So if you get yourself a landlord that is willing to work with you and you can sublease the place, then you don't need to buy. And you can just go to a landlord, an owner, and you can just say, hey, listen, I want to rent your place. I'm going to rent it for like 6 months. I'm going to put it on Airbnb. Airbnb will pay any type of insurance or anything. And after that, you're good as gold. You just do your thing. You know what I mean? You have everything set and you're good. You don't have to buy anything. You also don't have to worry about the maintenance. If the fridge goes out, if the roof falls through, if the plumbing goes wrong, you don't have to worry about anything. You just contact the landlord, the owner, and the owner will fix all that for you. And in the meantime, you're still making your passive income with only a monthly rent. And you are also not only making your passive income, but you are also getting the experience of owning in this country. Well, not really owning, but renting something out, right? And I would say that if you can do that, you get the best of both worlds. Rent something and rent it out as a passive income. And then you get a really good experience. Now, there's a lot of people that won't do that, especially if they're already foreigners and they're already renting it out themselves on Airbnb. They're going to say to you, no. Now, what you could say to them is, and this is just my suggestion, and not everyone's going to say yes to it, but you could say this. You could say, listen, I want to rent out your apartment. I'm going to rent it out monthly, but I'm going to rent it from you monthly, you tell the owner. But I want to rent your apartment out daily. And maybe that owner, even though they're a foreigner, may say okay, because they're still going to get their monthly rent from you, but you're getting someone daily for them, and they don't have to go through putting it on Airbnb and stuff of that nature, and they don't have to really deal with much, because you're already going to get someone to do the check-ins and the checkouts for you and stuff like that, as long as they get their money. But again, you have to always pass it by the landlord first. Always pass it by the owner first, okay? So that's pretty much it. Like renting and owning, the benefits of renting, and how you can still put it on Airbnb without buying, just so you can see how the market is. A lot of people are like, Cerise, no, I want something in Sosua, and that's that. I know it's more expensive to buy in Sosua, but I just want something in Sosua. So my suggestion then is, well, sublease, because then you get to see how the market is. Always see how the market is. Lately I've been doing more investing in cryptocurrency, and I did a lot more investing when the markets went down last week. Right, the markets went down and everything like that, and I was like, bam, I went in there and I bought up some coin and everything. I bought more Ethereum. I bought some lumens, I think they're called. I forget right now off the top of my head. But I also bought some UFO gaming, and so much change. That's just a whole other thing. I even made my first NFT, that is non-fungible token. Those are like graphic art, like just digital art. Made my first NFT and everything like that when the market was down, and I took advantage of that. So that's what you guys should do. Take advantage of things while you can, not just in crypto, but if you can get something and sublease it out, do that. You know what I'm saying? By the way, just digressing to cryptocurrency, the reason why I invested in UFO gaming is because there's supposed to be a great coin. Check it out. It has gone up in the last 2 days. And I do believe that gaming is the future. And gaming has always been around. It's one thing that hasn't gone away. But the reason why I think it's the future is because of the metaverse that's going on right now, the virtual reality. Actually, I even changed myself from mindset coach to meta mindset coach. For me, meta, is an acronym. It doesn't mean meta as in the metaverse. It means most effective tactics available, because I'm like a life coach, right? Not like a life coach. I am a life coach, but I don't use that word because it's too watered down now and overused, right? So I was a soul coach for many years, and now I call myself a mindset coach, because that's exactly what I do. I put your mind to a certain level of moving forward in your life and beyond. Meta means moving beyond. And you guys will hear that word a lot right now, meta. Even Facebook changed the name to Meta. So you guys are going to be hearing this word a lot if you haven't heard it yet, META. But if you look at me on Instagram, in the last couple of days, I changed my name to Meta Mindset Coaching, because you got to roll with the times and everything. And so I'm not just practicing. I practice what I preach every single day, all day. And this is what I want to show you guys. I don't just want to feed you guys. I want to give you the rod, and I want to say, this is how you do it. What do I benefit from it? By giving you guys all these gems? Well, hellos. Like when you guys see me on the street, y'all hail me up, and I love it, right? Or, of course, views on my channel and stuff like that. Subscribe, hit the like button and everything like that. That's always great, and it feels good because it lets me know that I'm offering you something that you like, content that you enjoy. But what else do I get from it? If you want a consultation, when you are ready to buy, you will contact me and we get a consultation. Or, if you do want to get a tour around, like a relocation tour around Sosua, I can set you up with that. Airport pickup drop-offs. I don't do airport pickup drop-offs, but I provide it through a Dominican guy, and you are paying a Dominican and giving a Dominican a job. You know what I mean? So I always pay it forward. Pay it forward constantly is one of my mottos in my life. I give, because you will always get in return. I don't always give to get. Sometimes I give. And then I'm like, but I always know that I'm going to get respect, love, and honor back from people. And not only that, I get to see happy faces and people smiling, and they're like, hey, she helped me out. So that's what I love about what I do. And I just want you guys to come down here and buy. A lot of you guys ask me who you should buy from. Should you buy from, the major real estate places here? It's totally up to you. I'm not deterring you from buying from the real estate places here. Yes, their prices are a little bit higher if they are selling for the owner, but it only makes sense because they have to put that higher percentage on in order to make back their money. The other day, a woman contacted me. Hola. The other day, a woman contacted me and she's like, hi, and she wanted to, have a consultation with me. And I told her what my prices were. 65 for a half an hour or 90 for an hour Canadian. So I don't know what that would be in American prices, obviously a lot lower. But she was like, oh, you charge? And I'm like, yes, I do. Actually, we should all charge for our time and our knowledge. And you're still going to have to pay that real estate agent that's giving you their time as well. And that's going to be through commission. Hopefully, you're not like contacting this agent, that agent, this agent. I know a lot of you guys do. A lot of you guys will contact 10 agents, and then one agent takes you around for one day. Another agent takes you around for another day. You have like you're here for 2 weeks, and in that 2 weeks, you have like 14 different agents taking you around, and each of them are hoping that you will, buy what they're showing you. And they know that you're talking to other agents because it's a small town here. My encouragement to you is come here, use an agency. If you see something that you like, tell that agency what you like, and they'll help you out. Respect the agents here. Respect them. And I always say, if you have an agent, don't contact me. And how does that work for me? Well, respect where I live. If you are working with an agent here and that agent has taken you around and you like something that they have shown you and you're just trying to cover all bases because you're on a short vacation here, don't put me in that drama. You know what I mean? Because then all of a sudden, when the agent finds that you bought from me, it makes me seem like I'm undercutting them or I'm slipping the rug from under their feet. And that's not my nature. My nature is honesty, and I really believe that that's how we should live our life, period. So I do want you to know that if you're working with agents and that's the vibe and that's the flow that you're taking, work with them. If you don't find anything with them and you've decided not to work with them, then you can come talk to me 100% and I can show you what I have. But don't keep them on the hook. Don't say, okay, I'll let you know, and then come to me. I'll just give you a story as to why I'm saying this. One time a guy came to me and he went to a house with a real estate agent and the owner was there. The real estate agent left with him. The real estate agent showed him the house. The guy went back to the house on his own and got a deal with the owner and bought it cheaper. And the real estate agent got nothing. That has happened to me a couple of times before, but this is not my bread and butter. This is my side hustle. I would not want to see real estate agents do that. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of the owners will do that. They will just sell and they will undercut, and it's a dirty market. It's a dirty market, and it's sad when I see that. So I don't want you guys to do that, and I don't want to be a part of that drama. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is if you got yourself a good real estate agent and you trust that person, then work with them. See what you can get as the lowest price possible, because there's always a lower price possible. There's always a way to negotiate. Hola. There's always a way to negotiate, okay? So don't undercut people. It's not fair. And remember, there's always karma, and karma is a bitch. We know that. So that's why I like to always be fair and honest to everyone. Okay? So guys, I'm going to read a couple of these messages here if there are any. In the meantime, as I'm reading, I'm just going to turn the camera around so you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'm here at Flip Flop. Jessica says, hello from Toronto, Canada. Hello, Canada and La Casa. Terry says, hello from Ontario, Canada. Hello, Terry Gray. Keith Hanna from Brampton in the house. Oh my gosh, look at that right there. Bam, bam, bam. Toronto, Ontario, Brampton. All right, you guys, for those of you who don't know, I'm from downtown Toronto, Canada. So it's really nice to see those Canadian flags. And then we also have David Rich. David Rich, hola, mi amor. David Rich lives in Cabarete, and he loves Cabarete. It's his choice to be in. And he's what I call an expat here. American. So he liked there. Let's get to Michael. Hello, Michael. I'm doing good, sweetheart. Michael Sorsona. Sorry if I butchered your last name. Stay hungry. Thank you so much for the contribution to my channel for more wine. Thank you. Well, I got to tell you, the wine here at Flip Flop, I don't know. They give you a whole glass. So you guys are here at Flip Flop. Make sure you get your wings. I am not promoting them for money or any free drinks or any free food. I am simply, let me put the camera down a little bit so you guys can see everything that's going on in the road. Maybe I'll even put it that way so you guys can see something as I am reading. Okay, let's see this right here. Yeah, I just want to say I promote Flip Flop because I love Flip Flop, but not because I get anything here except for a good time, good vibes, good people around, and they really fill your glass up great, and no matter what you drink, and the food is good no matter what you eat. Now, Wendy, hi, I only rent women. Oh, that's not Wendy, that says worldly. Where Jeff Fowler at? I don't know. Worldly. Cabarete. Okay, Worldly. You got a lot to say there. I don't know who Worldly is. Anyway, just sent a super chat. What's that say? Hawamochica. Hawamochica. You mean Hawabacoa or Boca Chica is where it's at. Boca Chica or Hawamakoa. I don't know about any Hamochica. I could be mistaken. I haven't been all around the island. Sean Ford, buy in Sosua. Yes, I would say so. If you're going to get something, get a condo, definitely buy here. Need a headset. I don't. Yes, I do need a headset, and I'm going to get one. I know. Sean Ford, I think buying built already is better. Yeah, built already is better here in Sosua. Absolutely. Worldly says, I gave my money to my Dominican girlfriend. She is paying the contractors now. That's amazing. Good for you. I thought you buy women here. Haha. You're only talking. Casalinda, Malibu, just bought that. I'm not really, I'm going to do a video on Casalinda on Friday. I'm not going to knock them, but there is a different vibe to buying in a gated community, and you are going to have your benefits, and you're also going to have your, there's a lot of pros and cons and everything, but we'll get to that. Worldly says his Haitian girlfriend will end up with that house anyway. Okay. All right. Let me get past you, Worldly. Where are the unvaccinated neighborhoods? Unvaccinated neighborhoods are everywhere here. Panda Girl. Hola from Montreal. Another Canadian. Buena video. Gracias, amor. Let me see. I'm going to pass by you, Worldly. I apologize, not being rude, but just going to get past what you're saying there. Colin Harder. Hello, sweetheart. How you doing? And then we got Colin. Can you recommend a realtor? I don't recommend a realtor. The reason why is because I don't work with any, and I don't make any recommendations unless I know someone is good and they're not going to charge an arm and a leg. Yes, they do need to feed and eat, and feed their families, but I don't work with any, so I can't recommend any. I wouldn't want you to, have a bad experience, and I'm not overseeing it. Sean Ford, Cobb Homes are okay. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it. Are they using printer homes there? What are printer homes? Jay Smith, how you doing, sweetheart? Great job. I agree. Worldly, I'm going to take a chance on you. Okay. She likes trees. That's a metaphor. Okay. Stray pythons. Cerise, remember, you are living in the Caribbean. Hurricanes, severe rainfall, concrete block buildings are the best for this type of environment. Stray python. Look up Cobb Homes. You don't have to worry about anything when it comes to that. It is pure cement. But, of course, you might be referring to the fact that I said shipping container. And shipping containers, the only thing that we really have to worry about is if you live by a beach, it will rust. The salt water will rust out the entire thing. So that's why the countryside would be good near the rivers where there's not a lot of salt water. But as long as you have everything in the ground properly, you're all right. Hurricanes are all right. They're not really. I've been here for almost 4 years. Never really had a problem with that. They obviously happen, but in regards to homes, I think a yurt would be okay again as long as you have it properly into the ground. Sean Ford says Sosua El Bate is the best. Stray Python shipping containers would be nice, but in the DR they are not economically right. Exactly, right now, exactly. Well, especially if you're by the beach. Sean Ford, Los Charamicos is okay. La Pera is a different. Posible una más, por favor, more. Gracias. La Piedra, Sean, that's what I think you mean. La Piedra. It's La, L-A, and then a separate word is Piedra. Piedra means stone, and the reason why it's called stone is because it's at the edge of it's at the edge of Los Charamicos where the cliff is, the rocky cliff, and it's called La Piedra, and that is more of where the hood is, and undocumented Haitians, and there's no running water down there and stuff like that. And I guess it has a bad reputation because there's a little bit more people down there that are living a tough life. It's a hard knock life. All right, let's go on. Really, if I buy at the bottom of a hill, okay, but a bill, okay. Worldly, you got a lot to say, bruh. HS, deleted that message. That's all right. Don't get involved with the stock market. Trust me, you got to get involved with a little bit of the stuff, especially with crypto. Gracias, amor. Especially with crypto. The reason why is because money is not a real thing. I have a video. If you're looking for the history on money, you're looking for the reality on money, it's only an agreed upon thing. It's not really based upon anything. They are borrowing from the Federal Reserve, and money is not a real thing. Crypto is the future. Jimenez, hey, I haven't heard from you for a long time. Beer time. Cheers, guys. Freddie, hi. Sorry, I can't wait to meet you. Looking forward to meeting you too. I'll see you sometime in April, Freddie says. Awesome, Freddie. Looking forward to it. Hey, Donald. How you doing, sweetheart? Hey, Cerise. Happy New Year. Judy Garland, I was going to say. But Jody LeGrand. Hello from Edmonton, Alberta. Another Canadian. Hi, sweetheart. Sean Ford, Cabarete is nice, but I like it better. I like it better in El Bate. I like it better in El Bate too. Sean Ford, if Greg is there, tell him I said hi. I will, and he is here. Hey, Donald, Flip Flop is nice. Chill spot. It is one of my favorite chill spots here. Jody LeGrand says, so glad to have turned in to have a fabulous day. Yes, have a fabulous day. So glad to have tuned in. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm glad you tuned in too. Have a fabulous day too, baby girl. Sean Ford, Flip Flop Bar, great staff owner, nice guy. Gregory, one of my favorite dudes. Let me shout him out. You guys check out his YouTube channel because he also has a YouTube channel. It's called Mr. Flip Flop, as in the shoes. Then we have, that's just Eric, Casa Linda, muy caro. It is very expensive. How would you recommend going about looking for a condo? Any website? Contact me and I can help you out. I deal with owners only, and a lot of them are willing to negotiate with your price. Sometimes you can buy from the owner, and the owner is willing to do like financing, and you just have to put down a certain price, 30%, and then you can pay the rest. But sometimes if you're buying something that's $50,000, you put down 30%, you just pay over a period of time. And also it depends on who you're buying from and how much the price is. My battery is running out, so I'm going to try to finish the rest of these messages here. We have Al Bryant. Hi, how you doing, Al? Sean Ford, Cerise, 3D printer homes are the new technology. You heard it from me first. It builds cement homes with a printer. It's been around a couple of years. I'm going to look it up. And then we have Kisibsi. Sorry. Oh, no. You know what? That is just a robot. Al Bryant, I'm looking to buy a 2 bedroom and 2 bathroom condo near the beach in Sosua. So everyone wants to buy near the beach, and that's a little expensive, but you can still buy if you have the income for it, Sosua Beach. But there's other places that you can buy near the beach, like near Cabarete, and it's just not your common beach where you're going to get a lot of tourists, but eventually Cabarete will be that spot to go. Greg from Worldly says, Greg from Floppities puts from the rough. I don't know what you just said there, but let me turn this back around, guys. So I just want to say it's another thing. My camera is about to give out. I know I always do this, but I do want to say goodbye now. So I know it's going to cut out, but I just want to say goodbye now. But I am going to go on and I'm going to talk about buying near the beach and why it's almost impossible to do that right now in Sosua. Hold on. So it's almost impossible to do that right now in Sosua because there is no things available. Anyone that owns land and they're renting it out, hold on. They know, and they're just sitting on it. They're not renting it out or anything. They're just sitting on it because they know it's prime real estate. They're not looking to just sell it at any old price. But it is possible to get some beachfront property still in Cabarete, but going along the coast a little bit more, going towards Sabaneta. And also, if you really want a beachfront property or something in walking distance, then you can do that here on Pedro Clisante. You can buy something for like 55,000, 50,000 on Pedro Clisante. It's one of the main roads in Albate, Sosua. And there's 2 main roads within here, and it's called It's called Pedro Clisante. The other one's called Alio Martinez. They're amazing streets, and you can still buy condos there, and you're about a 10-minute walk away from the beach. Most people are like, I want a beachfront property, and that's not really possible here in Sosua because to me, beachfront is being on the beach and walking out onto the beach, and you can't do that here in Sosua. If you've been to Sosua Beach, you know that's not possible. Now that might be possible in the future with the condominiums that are being built on Playa Sosua in the future. Playa Sosua right now it's building up. I took a photo the other day of Playa Sosua 2-story restaurant, and it's modern, it's beautiful. I might go there tomorrow just to show you guys it. I don't know. Depends on my day today. And it depends on if it's raining tomorrow or anything like that. But I would love to go there and do a little review just to show you guys what it looks like, because it's one of the first restaurants on Playa Sosua that has 2 floors and very, very modern. And it was just opened up last week. So I want to show you guys that. Maybe I will do that tomorrow. But guys, yeah, I will do that tomorrow anyway, because you know why? You guys gave me contributions to my channel today, $15 or whatever. So I don't even know how that money comes in from YouTube. YouTube sometimes just, I don't know where that money goes that you guys, contribute to my channel. Because I don't know where the money goes. I make like maybe about $200 a month on YouTube, and I'm not complaining because that's still the views that you guys give me, and that's 200 extra bucks that I wouldn't have, So I just want to say thank you for that. And again, I love my YouTube channel because I get to talk to you guys from all around the world, and I get to say hi to you guys in the streets. And that's why I do my channel. The other day, I met someone in Los Charamicos. Shouts out, Juan, I love you. And he said to me, Cerise, you got to travel the island more. You're going to get more views. I'm like, I don't think my channel is really about me getting views. I love it, the views, obviously. Anyone doing any creative content loves views. But for me, it's about offering to you what I know best. I am going to do a 7-part series on different places around the island to visit, but it's only because I'm going to be doing research on it. And I'm going to be doing that 7-part series starting probably next week. I have so many videos in my archive that I have to upload of people, places, things going on here, bars and Sosua, and I still have to do a lot of story time. So I have a lot of videos coming all the time. But I just want to say, guys, I love you so much. You're so amazing. Hola, you're so amazing, and wow, thank you so much for supporting me. And 2022 is an amazing year. Please check out my other channel, Sister Cerise, on YouTube. And on that channel, I just have fun, but like I do a little bit of, fun things. But look at the meaning of 2022.